And this is Unit 8, Lesson 2. We're solving linear systems by substitution. The objective is there, so let's get started. First thing I'll say is we've learned how to solve a linear system by graphing. This is our second method called substitution. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Here's all your steps here. Step 1 is, first of all, remember you're going to have two equations. Okay? Step 1 is to pick one of the equations and get x or y by itself. Okay, so you pick one of the two equations, doesn't matter which one, and get x or y by itself. Usually you want to pick the one that is going to be easiest, okay, to get one of the variables by itself. It's going to take the least amount of work. Okay, after you've gotten that, then you're going to substitute the expression you got in step 1 into the other equation. And then you're going to solve for the other variable. Okay, and that'll make more sense to you as we do this. That step is going to give you the value of either x or y. Okay, so you're going to get x equals something or y equals something. Once you've gotten x equals or y equals something, you're going to take that answer and plug it into the expression from step 1 and solve it for the other variable. And that should give you the other one. So if you got x from step 2, then you'll get y from step 3, and vice versa. Once you've gotten both x and y, you're going to write your solution as an ordered pair. And of course, the last step is to check your solution in both equations. Alright, so let's do a couple examples to see how this works. So here we are. We want to solve this system by substitution. We've got our two equations right here. Okay, so our first thing is we need to pick one of the equations to solve for either x or y. Well, looking at this one, if I solve for x or y, it's going to take a couple of steps, okay, to do that. Whereas this one over here, it's only going to take me one step to solve for x, because x is all by itself. So the first thing I would usually do is look to see if one equation has one of the variables without any coefficient. Okay, so there's just one x or one y. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one and start by solving for x. So we're going to add 4y to each side. Okay, and that's going to cancel. That's going to give me x equals -1 plus 4y. Okay, now we're going to take this expression right here. So that was step 1. We got x all by itself. Now we're going to take that expression and plug that into this equation over here. Okay, so instead of x over here, I'm going to put, instead of 2 times x, it's going to be 2 times all this stuff I said x was equal to. Alright, so step 2 is instead of saying, so we're going to start with 2x plus 2y equals 3. Instead of saying 2 times x, now I'm going to say this is 2 times the expression I got over here, which is -1 plus 4y. Okay, so this is 2 times my x that I got over here. Now I need to add on 2y plus 3, or 2y equals 3. Okay, so again, one more time, because this is probably the trickiest part of the whole thing. My x value I got went in for x over here. So instead of 2 times x, it's now 2 times -1 plus 4y. The reason why I want to do that is because now I've got everything in terms of the same variable. I have no more x's, and I just have y's. So that means I'll be able to solve for y. So now that's our job, is to solve for y. And we're going to start by distributing. So we get -2 plus 8y plus 2y equals 3. Now we're going to combine like terms, so we'll have -2 plus 10y's equals 3. So now we need to add 2 to both sides because we're trying to solve for y. So I get 10y's is equal to 5, and then I need to divide by 10. Okay, so I'm going to get y is equal to 5/10, which is the same as 1/2. So my y value is equal to 1/2. Okay? Well, now I've solved for y. I know what y is. It equals 1/2. So now I need to take that, and I'm going to plug that value in to the expression I used in step 1, which is this one right here. So now instead of saying x equals -1 plus 4y, I'm going to plug in 1/2 for y so that I can solve for x. Okay, so now I've got x is equal to -1 plus 4 times 1/2, because I solved for y and got 1/2. So I get x is equal to -1 plus 4 times 1/2 is 2, and -1 plus 2 is +1. So I get x is equal to 1. Now I'm going to combine those two things in an ordered pair. So my solution should be my x value, which is 1, and my y value, which is 1/2. And that should be my solution. Now the only thing I have to do is plug it into my original equations to check it. Okay, so I'm going to use these equations I had up here to start with to check this. So instead of 2 times x, I'm going to put 2 times 1, plus instead of 2 times y, I'm going to put 2 times 1/2. And I want to know, does that equal 3 or not? Well, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 2 times 1/2 is 1, and it checks out. 3 equals 3. So it works for the first equation. Now I've got to check it and see if it works for the second equation. So instead of my x, I'm going to put in 1, minus 4 times y is 4 times 1/2. And I want to know, does that equal -1? So I get 1 minus 4 times 1/2 is 2, equals -1. And I know that 1 minus 2 is the same as 1 plus -2. And it checks out. -1 equals -1. So this is my solution to my system. Okay, using substitution. Alright, if that's confusing to you, we're going to do 2 more examples here. But otherwise you can stop and watch this slide again and go through your steps, step by step, and see what we did. Alright, let's go on to another example.
Okay, this is the same word problem that we did in the last lesson. However, now we're going to solve it by substitution. So, let's go ahead and just write the equations that we had for this. Not going to go ahead and read through it and everything, but we'll use the same equations that we had the last time. So, for the Bruno Mars song, we had y equals 4x plus 4. Okay, because it was number 4 on the charts, so that's the y-intercept, and then it's going, the number's getting higher by 4 spots every week. And the other equation was y equals -4x plus 36, because it was at spot 36, and going up the charts means the number's getting lower by 4 spots every week. So now substitution. Okay, again, we need to solve one of the equations for one of the variables. So, both of these equations are already solved for y. So that means all I have to do is take one of the expressions for y and plug it into the other equation. So, I'm going to go ahead and just use the top one here, and we're going to plug this in for y in the second equation. So instead of y on the second equation, I'm going to say 4x plus 4 equals -4x plus 36. Okay, so now we're going to solve this equation, and we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. It's going to give us 4x equals -4x plus 32. Then we're going to add 4x to each side and get 8x equals 32. And then we're going to divide by 8. And we're going to get x equals 4. Okay? Now once we got an x equals 4, to solve for y, we need to plug that in to the other equation. So we're going to put y equals 4 times, and instead of x, we're going to put 4 plus 4. So y equals 16 plus 4, and y equals 20. Okay, so our ordered pair is 4, 20. And 4 is the number of weeks, because that's where our x's were. And 20 is the spot on the chart. Okay, so the question asks us again, how long will it be before Mumford and Sons and Bruno Mars meets on the charts? So that's asking us for the number of weeks. Okay, we could also ask for the spot they meet at, and if that's the case, we would answer our y value of 20. But for this one, they want the x value, so the answer is still 4 weeks. Just like it was when we graphed. Okay? Again, just another method here. And let's do one last example. And our last example says you are selling tickets for a high school play. The student tickets cost $4 and general admission tickets cost $6. You sell 525 tickets and collect $2,876. How many of each type of ticket do you sell? So we're going to have to put x is equal to our student tickets. And we'll make y equal to our general admission tickets. Okay? Well, we know that we sell 525 tickets. So that means our student tickets plus our general admission tickets have to equal 525. So x plus y has to equal 525. That's one equation, because our two types of tickets added together have to equal the number of tickets sold. Then we also know that we collect $2,876. So we've got to have some sort of equation for the money that we collect. Well, let's think about this. We know student tickets cost $4 and general admission tickets cost $6. So if we take 4 times the number of student tickets, or 4 times x, that's going to tell us how much money we make in student tickets, plus 6 times y, 6 times our general admission tickets, will tell us how much we make in general admission ticket money. Okay, so again, straight up, our student tickets plus our general admission tickets equal 525 tickets sold. And $4 times the number of student tickets plus $6 times the number of general admission tickets has to equal the money we collected. So now by substitution, you can tell it's going to be easiest for us to solve our top equation for either x or y. It doesn't matter which one, so I'm going to go ahead and just solve it for x. So if I solve for x, we're going to get if I solve for x, that means I'm going to take x plus y equals 525. If I solve for x, that means I'm taking away y from both sides. So my x equals 525 minus y. And now we're going to take that expression and plug it in for x in our second equation. So we're going to have 4 times my x value is 525 minus y, which is the same as plus negative y. That's 4 times our x, we still have plus 6y, equals 2,876. So again, we want to distribute here. So if I take 4 times 525, that's 2,100, plus negative 4y, plus 6y, equals 2,876. Combine like terms, we get 2,100, plus negative 4y plus 6y is 2y, equals 2,876. Keep going by taking away 2,100 from each side. And we get 2 y's are equal to 776. And then if I divide by 2, and I want to take 776 divided by 2, that gives me 388. So our y is equal to 388. Now we're going to take that number and plug it in to our modified equation right here to figure out what x is. So I know that x equals 525 minus y, which in this case is 388. And 525 minus 388 is 137. Okay, next we need to write our answer as an ordered pair. So we've got x is 137 and y is 388. Alright. Now, I want you to go ahead and check this to make sure we're right. So show me the algebra on this. And then make sure you answer the question. Okay? So that's your job. I'm going to leave the video off here. You need to make sure that you go answer the question. Figure out what your x stands for and your y stands for, and figure out which one of those is going to be used to answer the question. Okay? And make sure you show the checking on this. Make sure you first plug in the numbers to the original equations to make sure it's right and it works out. Alright, other than that, happy homeworking.